next is the average factor method. So here the whatever uh, the factor method whatever we have used, so there the growth in the previous the growth factor has been taken into consideration. So now, so it is not been growth factor is considered. Now the average factor has been taken in this method. So in this growth factor method, so there is a whatever the zones are there, so that is calculated, so that is based on the average of the whatever the growth is there. So average value is been taken, so that has been calculated for the both the ends. So that is the origin end as well as the destination end, both the ends which has been taken into consideration for the trips. The factor thus represents the average growth, so that has been associated with the both that has been associated with the both origin as well as the destination zones. So there is a mathematical relations. So whatever I'm showing for the average factor method, it is represented by the tj, it is represented by tij, capital Tij is equal to small tij into ei plus ej whole divided by 2. Okay, so this is the mathematical relation. So what is this capital Tij? So capital Tij, that is nothing but future trips from the zone I to zone J. Next is small Tij. So small Tij, this is a presently whatever the trips from the zone one zone to another zone. So here first zone is I and second zone is J. So present trips from the zone I to zone J. So that is the present trip. About this small t represents the present trips. Okay, there is another two terms, ei and ej. So what is this ei and ej? So ei is equal to capital Pi divided by small pi. Okay, capital Pi divided by small pi. So capital ei is the it is the trips which has been generated growth factor for the zone I. So that is ei. So what is this ej? ej is instead of p, so ej is equal to, instead of pi by pi, so it is ej divided by ej divided by aj. Okay, capital Aj divided by small aj. So that is the difference. So that is the attracted trips growth factor for the zone J. So I told ei is equal to capital P divided by small pi. Small pi. Okay, so a is equal to capital Pi by small pi. So but what is this pi? So this pi is the capital Pi is the future generated trips from the zone I. So it is been represented by I, so that's why it is the future generated trips from the zone I. So what is this small pi? So small pi is the present generated trips from the zone I. Okay, same like that here also. What is this capital AJ? So that is the future attracted trips of the zone J, and small aj is present attracted trips of the zone J. So that's about the EJ, EJ and EI. So this is been divided by both. It has been taken average, whatever the growth factor is there, so that growth factor an average is been taken, so that's why it has been labeled as average factor method. As you seen the name explain the average growth factor, this mathematical relation um, mathematical relation should comes into your head, then from there you can explain further. So after this distributions has been completed in this above basis, so it will be very found that the sum of the trips from zone I probably not agree with the projected trips that ends in the zone I, and the sum of the trips to the zone J will not agree with the projected trips so that ends in the zone J. So the difficulty to overcome this iteration process, the using the new value of that is EI and EJ. Okay, so a new value is being used. Okay, this EI and EJ. So the EI is equal to PI divided by PI, EJ is equal to AJ divided by AJ. So where AI and AJ are the total generations and the attractions of the zone I and zone J respectively, to obtain from the first stage and the distributions. So whatever the iteration which has been carried out till the growth factor approaches unity and the value balance within the that will be minus with the minus, that can say plus or minus with the percentage. So that's about the growth factor method, average growth factor method.